Welcome back to SK Hobbies AZ. I am Stitch. All right, this episode we're going to talk about my drone crashing. All right, so we're going to be talking about my drone. This is what's left of it. Haven't had a chance to plug it in to see if anything else is working on it, but we're going to do an evaluation on it and I'll get back to you. But we took it out to our BLM land and we ran it on one of the batteries I modified and put this 4S battery in. We had a pretty good successful flight. We didn't do a lot of recording, but I'll give you a little tidbit about what we saw right here. And then while we had it up in the air and did a little testing. My brother-in-law is in town, and so he brought his drones out, which you guys will see in the next future video here of some of his footage. But it ran pretty good. We ran about almost 30 minutes on one battery and had a blast. We didn't do a lot of recording. We were doing more learning about it because I'm new to the hobby and dealing with the drone, but he gave me his insight. He flew it for a little bit. And I flew it, and then we flew with his drone and my drone at the same time. And so we were messing around with the RCs too. And after we got done messing with the RCs, I went to go put this bad boy up again. And it crashed. And before we continue, I'm going to go ahead and show you the crash video right now. So yeah, I was devastated. I had no idea. It wasn't quick enough to react to it. It just happened so quick. We just put it up in the air and I hadn't even hit record on the button. Usually what I do is I bring it up and I get it up about that high and then I'll hit record and, bring the landing gear up. I didn't even get a chance to bring the landing gear up before it just went and lost power completely and smashed into the ground. This is what's left. The battery, I checked the battery. The battery's fine. I don't know if it's my mistake or what, but it shattered. It shattered the housing that I have, and so I'm gonna have to get a new housing for it. We'll get this battery reinstalled. Ultimately, I think with the performance on this battery, if I had this one I could get an hour of flight time out of it. Now, these are only 5,100 milliamp hour batteries. So I'm going to try, and there's room inside of here to go a little bit bigger. So I'm going to get a couple of more of these housings 3D printed out. And I'm going to go bigger on the battery and see how much more I can do on it. But first of all, evaluation of it, I got to check the gimbal. It busted right here. I don't know if you guys can see in the light right there. But it busted there's these little plastic prongs that stick down, and then there's rubber bushings that go between that and the camera housing portion. So the rubber pieces I still have, but I got to get some new plastic dowels that go right there. And then I can do a check on the camera to make sure the camera's okay. I got to get a new landing gear because it broke off right here completely. And some of the arms seem to work. This one doesn't lock in. This one doesn't lock in. This one is completely bent sideways. The back, so these two lock in, and this one. So 3 seem to lock in and not damaged. So it's these 3 I've got to worry about. I think that these front 2 are fine. I just need to replace these 2 clips. So we're going to start with that first. This one's going to need a whole new arm, I believe, because it is loose in there and I think it broke. So we got to dig into it and take it apart. And I'm probably going to have to replace the arm, I think, but we'll see until I get it taken apart. So drone's going to be down for the count. It seems kind of loose on this side, so I'm probably going to redo both landing gear pieces just because it took a pretty good fall. We're thinking it was probably 25, 30 feet up in the air when it lost power and just came crashing in the ground. It could have been a lot worse. If this landing gear was up, the blunt of it would have been right here on this camera, and I'd probably have to replace the entire camera. But luckily, I had this on there, and it's actually supposed to set like that. And it hit here first before smashing into the camera and breaking those gimbal pieces. But I would rather those little plastic pieces break than and the camera goes sideways than to actually be hard and it just smashed that camera up. So the drone will be down for the count for a little while. My brother-in-law is going to leave one of his DJIs with me to play with, so we're going to get going on that one and have a blast on it. But that's all. I just wanted to get it out there and tell you about my casualty of the drone, and I'll keep you guys up in the loop on the repairs of it, and we can get it back up and running again. So thanks for watching. I'm Stitch, SK Hobbies AZ. And before I sign out, don't forget to like, subscribe, and bash that bell. I'm out.